and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shagun, and if you're new here, welcome. I basically talk about travel, and I'm a university student at the University of Edinburgh, and I've been living here for the last 2.5 years, and I basically just show my life in Edinburgh. I try to live sustainably, so I talk about that and just about how I've been traveling in Europe in the last 2 years. So in today's video, I will be preparing for the new year, which is 2024, and it is the last day of the year today. It's 31st December 2023, and I was just reflecting on all the things that I wanted to achieve this year and all the things that I wanted to do this year, and it was so interesting to look back on the person that I was a year ago and the person that I am now. So as I prepare for 2024, I just thought I'd show you how to do it. By the time you see this, it will actually be in the new year, but hopefully it can still be helpful then. So as I reflect on the year that I've had and start preparing for the new one, I thought I'd share what I do and how I'm taking today to reflect and to prepare. These three were mainly my diaries or journals for 2023, and I started with writing my New Year's goals in this one. This one was a gift from my aunt. Essentially anything that I found interesting or I had the slightest interest in, I would just write it in here, and it was just like by the end of the year you could just see it's just filled with so many like post-it notes, and it had all my lists. It was just like a great way to keep track of all the things that I learned this year. I got into podcasts as well, so it was really interesting just like writing what I found interesting from those podcasts into my journal, and something that I can see and later on as well just like come back to if I have to. I really enjoyed that aspect as well, and I'm planning to do the same for 2024. So let me show you what I'm using for 2024, and then we can dive into how to do your end of the year reflection and how to prepare for a new year ahead. For the new year, I'm using this journal. It was a gift from my friend, so I'm really excited to use it, and I love the fact that it's green and pink and very naturey, which kind of represents the kind of person I am. You know, I love nature, I love being in nature, and I just love the planet Earth. So this represents that, and I'm really happy that I have a journal that represents what I am on the inside, on the outside. So I started the year with just like a little doodle. I'll show you a close-up of that as we go into the video, but I just started with writing like this is my 2024 journal, because obviously I'd want my 60-year-old self to know when I actually started it, and I'm just writing about I started with like a page that says 2024 manifestations, and I'm just gonna write all the things that I want from the year, things that I hope to achieve, and the things I'm manifesting. And the next page is me on January 1st. So I kind of got inspiration for this page from TikTok. I can link to the TikTok in the description below in case you want to go and learn how to do it properly. But I'm just writing about where I am in life right now, what I do, what are my interests, what I find interesting, my favorites, just as a, oh, this is how I started the year. And it'd be really interesting to see this change as the months go on or as the years go on, and it'd just be like a nice stopping point as to see where I've gone from where I am right now. So let's get into it. So I will first look at my 2023 journal and what I did at the end of the year to reflect. This is again inspiration that I got from Pinterest, Instagram, and TikTok, and I just kind of like mix it all up to get like, you know, just put it together. So yeah, let's take a look at that. So talking about the end of 2023 reflection that I did, I had certain things that I used as prompts. I'm not gonna like show you what I actually wrote because that's going into too much detail, but I can show you and I can give you the prompts, and I'll put them on the screen here as well. So the first one that I used was biggest celebrations and accomplishments, and this could be anything and everything. The fact that I turned a certain age this year, I covered like a photography like gig this year, I got a job, just certain small things that I really like wanted to reminisce. I wrote about going to a jazz night. I remember writing about Copenhagen, just like stuff of that sort. And I basically talked about my biggest celebrations and accomplishments of the year. The second one that I used was 3 words that I would like to describe 2023 with. And I basically wrote healing, self-discovery, and just exploring new stuff in new sides, which I think was really nice. And then thirdly, I went into energy drainers and time wasters. So these are the things that, whether it was self-doubt, whether it was insecurities, whether it was bad friends, things of that sort, I just wrote it all down to be like, okay, this is something that I need to be mindful of in the new year. This is something I need to avoid in the new year. Fourth, I was, what do I want to let go of? So obviously we have so many things that weigh us down, whether it is conscious, whether it's subconscious. So I kind of reflected here on a bit and just like wrote down all the things that that I want to let go of, whether it is something that's bringing me stress, whether it's something that I don't really want in the new year, that sort of a thing. Then fifth, I wrote about my challenges, the obstacles, and how I overcame that. Like day-to-day stuff, you have certain things that do not go the way you want it to go. And I just wrote about how I felt when I was like having that entire challenge and how I overcame it. Then I wrote about the lessons that I learned about life and how I'll apply them. And I think I really enjoyed this aspect because I just got to like write a bunch of quotes and just things that I really resonated with, and I was like, okay, this is what I feel like I've gotten out of this year. And it was really nice to reflect on the good of it, the things that I can do to improve. Then I next wrote about who was in my life and what they brought me, and I think this was the most wholesome page ever because I just listed like my friends' names and I just put bullet points next to the name, being like, okay, I have this one certain friend who I went to the gym with quite often, and I really enjoyed that because we were building on working on ourselves as well as socializing, and they helped me get over my fear of certain things in the gym, which I think is really wholesome, and it just gave me a chance to express gratitude towards the people that were in my life this year and just share about all the things and all the joys that they brought me this year. Next thing I wrote was overall themes of 2023, whether it was like themes of healing, whether it was, self-discovery, whether it was just certain things that I feel like, okay, these are the themes and the eras that I kind of can name in like 2023. Then I had surprises and discoveries. I had avoidance areas and blind spots. And then at the end, I'm gonna write about the status of the goals that I set last year. So last year I basically set the goal that I really want to get more into reading, get more into like a creative side of me, explore that, and I'm really happy to say that I have. So my goal for I think last year I decided not to set like too many hard goals, and my goals would just basically include like be reading all the time, which means I don't have a certain number of books that I need to read in the year, but I just have certain, I just have to be reading at all times. Like I just have a book with me, whether I take 3 months to read that book, whether I take 5 months to read that book, it doesn't matter. I'm just reading all the time, which I think took the pressure off that I need to read like 10 books in a month or something. And I think it was really nice because I started off very slow. I started with I think I read 2 books in 3 months, and then by the time the semester got over and it was summer break, I was reading a book in a day or a book in a week and that sort of thing. And I was really happy because I did not put that pressure on myself, and that's why I was able to achieve the goal. And I think for me on Goodreads, I put a goal that okay, I want to read 12 books this year, for example. I was able to easily achieve that because I knew that in my head I did not have that pressure to complete certain things within that certain time limit. I think it was a great way to reflect on 2023 because I just got to write about all the things I'm grateful for, all the things that I did in the last year, all the things that I'm not very happy about, but how I overcame that. And I also had a page full of the bad things that happened this year, whether it was something that upset me, whether it was something that hurt me, anything that made me sad, anything just was not for me. I wrote it down on one page, so I just leave that in 2023 and I don't carry that grief and that trauma and that sadness as well as anger into 2024, because I think I really like the idea of New Year's because it's like a clean slate. I know it doesn't work that way. Different people, different cultures, different religions have different New Year's, but I think just having like a new year is such a great way to like leave the bad stuff in the past, be grateful for the new stuff that you got to experience that year, and then also have something to look forward to in the new year. I think this year I would say I'm very happy with the progress that I've made this year. I've grown a lot as a person. I've grown a lot in like relationships with friends, with my family, and I think it's been really interesting seeing that growth and having it all documented into this diary. For 2024, what I did first was, so this is the new journal that I was talking about, but for 2024, in my old journal, I made a list of all the goals that I wanted to achieve. So this was essentially like goals for 2024, and it was like for my vision board. And I divided this into different categories. So I looked at health and fitness, I looked at travel, because obviously I love traveling. I had career, I had personal, I have financial, I have fun and recreation, and I have relationships. So these are the like different categories that I kind of put my goals under, and I ended up with I think over 30 goals. But when I look at it, it's just like this one page of just like goals, and it doesn't feel like a lot. And I also put a lot of affirmations that I really wanted my vision board to embody, and I ended up just being like 20 things that I really like, I feel like, okay, this is what I want. And the way I made my vision board was basically, so this is my vision board here, and it's also on my iPad, and it's also on my phone. So I basically have this board on like Pinterest, and it is called vision board, and I have like the next 4 years essentially, like. But in 2024 I just saved images from Pinterest that were like, okay, this is the energy that I want to embody in the new year, whether it was going to the gym, whether it was eating healthy, whether it was just being very put together with my makeup, having a good, like being consistent on YouTube, things of that sort, just things that I feel like were me and stuff that I want to embody in the new year. So I just put all of that down. Then I went to Canva. I absolutely love Canva. I use it for almost everything. I went to Canva and I just put them together in like this format. Things, I just put these pictures together. For example, themes like and parties is in one corner. Again, I put it in a very segmenty way. This is like my travel stuff, this is like my lifestyle things, this is like food and like building a stronger body. So I essentially just did this, and then after that I put my affirmations in. I wanted it to be very subtle. I didn't want it to scream at me. I just wanted to basically have it be there for me. And I just put like stuff like, I'm worthy, I'm wealthy, I'm happy, I'm creating the life of my dream. The things I have on here do not come true. I just know that building this gave me like a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. So this is how I started with like the vision boarding sort of thing. And then I just resized it into something for my phone. Like here's stuff I did for my phone. It's the same pictures but just rearranged. Something for my iPad. So even like the iPad background is my vision board. As you can see, I really committed to the bit of it. I love design. I just love using, like, I love the aesthetics of it. I love using Pinterest. I've had it since I was in 8th grade, and I was just like, I have not stopped using it. And I think just doing the vision boarding part of it made me feel really calm and just gave me a good way to like be creative and actually think about what I want to do, reflect on what I want to do, things of that sort. Next up, this is the new journal that I have, which I was talking about, and I started with like a little doodle about how it's 2024. This is, the energy that we're embodying, like a very girly sort of a thing with hearts and pink bows. So this is the 2024 manifestations. So everything that I wrote in my journal here, I'm just gonna write it in a better, more concise way here, and then might put pictures here. I'm yet to see what I want to do, but I might just like print out some pictures and put them here. And then I started with who I am on 1st January. Another thing that I like to do in my journal is basically do ins and outs, which basically means that I'll write all the ins that I want next year, like all the things that I want to again like follow. So basically all the things that I put on my vision board, but in a more concise and a cool way. It's very similar to the trend that came out like I think a few years ago, which was like basically the fashion ins and outs, but like applying that to my life, which I think would be really really cool. I'm also planning to do something for social media, just for like myself, to record the memories. And I saw this thing on Instagram, like an influencer posted that. I'll put the link of that down in the comments, but let me share that with you. So it's essentially this, like my 2023, and it's like a scrapbook sort of a format of all the things that the person, you know, like as I as a person have done, and I kind of want to include that. So I'll be doing that as well, and I'm excited to see what my ins and outs look like, because I haven't really decided, and they have to be concise, which also is like a great way to just like get it out and onto paper. So yeah, and I'm just really happy that I've gotten into journaling this last 2 years, because I think it just makes me write about my life. And I, as a person, I feel like I'm really scared that I'm gonna forget, and I'm really scared of forgetting memories and moments of these like crucial like 4 years of my life. And just writing them gives me that sense of security that okay, my memories are not going anywhere, and that they're documented, and then I can always come back to it if I want to. It's like photos, you know, we take photos so that we can see, like remember what we did, but the journaling part of it kind of adds the emotions in it as well, on how I was feeling that certain day, or you know, the monotonous things that I did in a day, you know, whether it was baking, whether it was just like daily life stuff. So I think I really enjoy that part. I hope that this video kind of gives you a start into how you can start journaling and how you can start manifesting the dream life that you want. And just like reflecting on 2023 has been such a great reminder that we as, you know, people and as humans, there's so much potential and there's so much capacity to do so much. And I'm just like, I really really like that idea. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and as I go through my 500 different diaries talking about vision boarding and journaling, but I hope this was helpful. And also I will share all the links and the Pinterest stuff and the Instagram things that I was talking about earlier in the description below, so you can just use the same templates that I did and use the same prompts that I did, so it's helpful, so you have a starting point. I changed a lot of them into things that suited my life, so you can do that as well. I can also put down the link of the place where I got most of my affirmations from, which I think was really helpful because they had them divided into different segments. But overall, I just really hope that you enjoyed watching this video, you learned something from it, and it gives you a starting point into your 2024. So happy new year guys, I will see you in the new year, and by the time you see this video it would already be 2024, but I'm just wishing that each and every one of you has the best year of their life, doing things they want to do, learning things they want to learn, and so much love. I'll see you next time. Bye.